Welcome to the Gold Standard Radio Show. I'm Craig Goldenfarb, your host and the founder of GOLDLAW. We've been a personal injury law firm in West Palm Beach for 25 years. This is the show where we spotlight the individuals and organizations making a real impact in our communities. Those who embody excellence, integrity, compassion, and the gold standard in everything they do. Every week we'll sit down with game changers, difference makers, and unsung heroes who are shaping the future of Palm Beach County and beyond. Whether it's through advocacy, innovation, or service, these are the people setting the bar high and showing us what it truly means to lead with purpose. So sit back, get inspired, and let's dive into the stories that define the gold standard. Good morning, this is Craig Goldenfarb, attorney with GOLDLAW in West Palm Beach. I'm here with the Gold Standard Radio Show, and I'm honored today to have a guest with me who's a wonderful man, the CEO of the nonprofit Chamber of Nonprofit Charities in Palm Beach County, and also the CEO of, what is it, Mr. Constantine? Adopt a Family. So welcome and good morning.
Well, thank you, Craig.
Sure. I'd like to start out today with just asking a little bit about you. So what first inspired you to work in the nonprofit sector?
I think for me, it was a kind of a family value. Growing up, and our father was I think a really big advocate for social justice and being there for others in need. So it was from an early age, it was something that I think was really important for me, and took me a while to get there. I was able to finally find my spot. I've worked at Adopt a Family now for about 23 years.
Wow. What was your industry before that?
I did some traveling after college. I, kind of meandered a little bit, and then was able to, work in restaurants, have these great experiences. But I think deep down inside, I knew this is where I wanted to go. And, so I had the opportunity here at Adopt a Family.
So as CEO of Adopt a Family, you've now also taken on a second role, which is CEO of the nonprofit Chamber of the Palm Beaches. And I didn't even know there was a Chamber of Commerce just for charities until I saw it in the newspaper a few years ago. So tell us about the nonprofit Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, first off, thank you, Craig, for your support of the Chamber. But it was one of the first in Florida. And it's a coalition of nonprofit agencies in Palm Beach County focusing on health and human services. It's a really a unique organization, I think, that adds a lot of value and support for leaders of nonprofits right now in Palm Beach County.
And how many charity member organizations are there in the nonprofit?
We have close to 100 member organizations.
Wow. And Palm Beach County seems to be honest, an area of good wealth. So, and lots of people who have a commitment to charities. So I would say 100 is quite a few in this area.
It is. And it's, I think it's the impact piece comes in where it's the group, the kind of coalition of the CEOs of the nonprofits are really able to do an amazing job of supporting each other, offering insight, helping others going through challenging times, looking for opportunities together, and really just having a louder voice than just one nonprofit.
And nonprofits seem to be facing a lot of the same challenges. Is that true?
Yes, it is. I mean, it's. I think there's always a lot of challenges in the nonprofit industry, but I think over the last couple of years we've seen that increase.
So I ended up finding out about your organization not only in the newspaper, but also, as some of the listeners know, I have a charity. Actually, I have a couple charities I founded, and one of them gives away automatic external defibrillators. Those are the things that shock your heart back to life if you have sudden cardiac arrest. And I was like, wow, my charity could help if I joined this organization. So I didn't even know about it. So I guess my question to you, Matt, is since you guys don't do a lot of publicity, how does the word come out that there is a nonprofit Chamber of Commerce?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. So, I mean, I think for our, we were founded, I think it was 2013. So there was a lot of organic growth and sort of grassroots growth for much of our sort of infancy, if you will. We are just wrapping up our strategic plan to kind of look at the next 5 years. And a big piece of that strategic plan is just that, Craig. It's like marketing. How do we get our name out? How do we increase our capacity? Because we're finding it to be a very useful and helpful organization for members in the community.
So I have a tough question. If there's 100 members, do you know how many charities there might be in Palm Beach County?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I know the number's huge. It's like, tens of thousands of nonprofits, and we focus primarily on health and human services, which sort of narrows our, so just within our organization, I mean, we have, an organization like what you do with the AEDs. We have organizations that help focus on folks without health insurance and help their health care. We have organizations that help with food. We have organizations that help with pregnancy. We have organizations that help with homelessness. So it's still a wide continuum of agencies in our chamber.
Is there a core mission or a mission statement for the nonprofit chamber?
Yep, to provide a forum to learn from trusted colleagues and an opportunity to provide advocacy for those that we serve.
That's great. That's a wonderful, wonderful mission. And how is it specifically that the chamber strengthens the collaboration among the charities that you work with?
I mean, I think we've had several opportunities to, kind of get the ear of whether it be Palm Beach County staff or different supporters of nonprofits, and being able to come together as one and have a louder voice. I know during COVID, we really saw a lot of this where we work closely with some amazing partners and funders in our community as the nonprofit chamber, and just being able to get, I think, more things accomplished, but also just on the monthly, having like area experts come in and talk about whether it be wind insurance or challenges with development and fundraising and special events, whether it be some of the new executive orders that were passed down, and getting really fresh, relevant information to all of our members is just a huge help.
You mentioned some of the executive orders that have come down, so it seems like the environment for nonprofits is rather challenging right now. I don't want to get too political, but what challenges are being faced by nonprofits due to executive orders coming down?
I mean, I think that the biggest challenge, honestly, is uncertainty. It's just not really knowing, where things are going to land and how things will end up. I know for Adopt a Family, we receive some federal funding for some of our programs. And so, we just have to monitor everything very closely and, look at the changes and the different orders that have come down. But I really feel that I think the level of uncertainty in the community is palpable. Like, I think there's a lot of, concern and just worry, like, will this funding be available? Will this program be here next year? Those types of things. And they're just, I think there needs to be more open communication everywhere to be able to wrap our arms around this.
So it sounds like instability is the major problem you're facing. So, how long have you been board president, Matt?
I'm just finishing up my second year, so you caught me on my last 2 weeks.
Oh, great. So a 2-year term, I suppose.
Yes, yeah.
Wonderful. And I assume there's a new board president.
Yeah, and she's incredible. Her name's Michelle Gonzalez, and she will take the chamber to even better heights. She's amazing.
Great. Speaking of that, what are your transition plans and, more specifically, what are Michelle's plans for the board as it moves forward?
So the strategic plan is going to be in the full implementation stage, looking at ways to increase our marketing, our outreach, ways to actually even potentially add some staff support to our current staff person who does an amazing job, Marlene. But looking at increasing that, so being a louder voice with advocacy. And also looking at getting, I think, a little bit more back to the in-person meetings, or having several more of those a year, but really just continuing to focus on providing strong content to our members. And so I will probably transition more into a support role for Michelle, and hopefully helping, strengthen our content that we provide to our members.
Well, as you know, my law firm and I would like to provide some assistance in spreading the word and sponsoring your events, and I would love to get more involved.
Thanks, Craig. Thanks for all you do.
Absolutely. So recently I was joking, so our law firm got an ice cream truck, which is rare for a law firm to do. So I offered to the chamber, then they have 100 members. I said, well, we'll send our ice cream truck to any of your community events, your weekend events, any of your charity events, and we'll give away free ice cream as long as our ice cream truck holds the ice cream until we run out. So we have a website, GOLDLAWSweetJustice.com. So if any charities want to register for our ice cream truck to come and give free ice cream to everybody who attends your charity event, it's got to be a charity, go to goldlawsweetjustice.com. It's a pretty cool ice cream truck, and I thought that would be very helpful. And I have limited it specifically to charities because of the needs that Matt and his organization have. So I wanted to offer that specifically on the radio show, so it was fun to do that.
Thanks. Yeah.
You're welcome. And also another event we're doing on July 19th, we're giving away free backpacks to elementary school, middle school, and high school kids. If you go to Eventbrite, which is where we manage our events, you can take a look, and it's the GOLDLAW backpack event on July 19th, all day pretty much at Kaiser University on Military Trail. So we're giving away almost 2,000 backpacks to children. So I just wanted to promote those two free events for the populace, and that one is not limited to charities. That's just limited to being signed up on Eventbrite. So moving on to your charity a little bit, Matt. Your charity is called Adopt a Family. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Adopt a Family?
Sure. We're a Palm Beach County nonprofit. We were founded in 1983, and our mission is to restore families in crisis to stability and self-sufficiency by providing services. A big piece of the work we do surrounds housing stability. So we operate an emergency shelter. We own 112 units of housing. We work with private landlords. And, you know, it's housing may be the foundation, but we also provide a ton of wraparound services. We have a job coach, a licensed mental health. We have an incredible after-school program for 60 kids, kindergarten through 5th grade. So we really try to look at all of the areas that sort of the social determinants of health and how to address them, understanding that housing is probably one of those anchor determinants that we need to address.
And with the housing services and related services that you provide, is there any qualification that you need to mention as far as what does a person have to do to qualify for that?
So we're fortunate to have like a continuum of different housing options. We have programs for families who are experiencing homelessness, and then programs for families who are just sort of, unfortunately, sort of at the lower end of wage earning or just starting out. We serve families with children exclusively at Adopt a Family. That's our strength and our mission. And so, I think just calling us to figure out, what help might be available from us. And if we can't do it, we work really closely with the partners, thanks to the sort of collaborative spirit of the nonprofit chamber.
That's wonderful. How long have you been with Adopt a Family?
So 23 years. Started as a case manager for a homeless prevention program where we help families avoid being evicted.
And were you raised in, is your history in Palm Beach County?
No, actually it's outside of Baltimore. But I've been down here for decades, so I almost feel like, yeah.
Wonderful. So without telling us, obviously, the name of a family, is there a particular situation that's really powerful to you where you're able to help a family that comes to mind where you'd be like something that you think is impactful?
I mean, I think one of the things that that we see regularly, especially for right now in Palm Beach County, there are families sleeping in their cars. There are, it's a really tough time with the housing market the way it is. And one thing that we see time and time again is once we get a family to move in is sort of the nesting that takes place when that family moves in. We see the mom just take incredible care and pride and joy of having their own space and their own place. And we see that every day. And then we see miracles every single day. We have the after school program is right downstairs. And we see these 60 beautiful kids playing soccer, playing basketball, doing academics, getting literacy tutoring. We watch their grades improve. We watch the smiles come back. Kids that have been through so much, through, I think, a lot of collaborative support and love, turn the corner, and it's great to see every day.
That's amazing. It sounds like a really beautiful place to work.
It's not bad. Yeah, it's pretty
you
good.
You get to see a lot of great stuff. We're not all blessed with the ability to help people, and I think that must be special coming in every day to work. That's great. So what is the current state of the housing crisis in Palm Beach County for those who don't know that there is a crisis? I mean, I guess we see homeless folks when we're out and about, but it's not like Los Angeles where it's in your face all day. So why don't you summarize for us, if you can, the current housing instability crisis?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's become more. I think most folks in our community are starting to know it. Simply, unfortunately, because almost everyone in Palm Beach County knows someone who's been impacted by it. As you can probably gather right now, like in almost every area in every neighborhood in Palm Beach County, a 2-bedroom apartment is well over $2,000 a month. 3 bedrooms are $3,000 and up. So families in this heavy county filled with sort of service industry, teachers, I mean, you name it, so many families are just sort of being priced out every day. We're talking with more families that are moving to Martin, to different counties, different parts of the country. So it has been it's a significant crisis right now, and I feel like a lot of the affordable housing that is out there isn't really truly affordable. At Adopt a Family, and other nonprofits, not to say just us, but other partner agencies too. We're mission based, and so our rents are truly based on what a family can pay. Not some formula, and so we need so many more units, thousands of units in our community to keep our residents here because they're being priced out every day.
So tell me, do you also serve, I assume you also serve the working poor who have a job and just can't afford a place to live?
I think about close to 80% of everyone we serve are employed.
So to those out there who are saying, people need to lift themselves up, these are people who have jobs.
Yeah.
It's just they don't have jobs that are pay well enough to be able to afford housing. No,
I mean, we have a lot of our folks have jobs, and not just one job. And many will do sort of one of the gig jobs later in the day, whether it be, DoorDash or those other things, to try to keep every, a roof over their head. So it's not hard to grasp if you're, making $40,000 a year and your rent's $2,500 a month. It doesn't add up, right? And so it just takes one issue, one crisis.
It could be a health crisis, could be anything else. It sounds like it's easy to have housing instability in Palm Beach County.
It is.
Wow. So you mentioned some of the other programs that you do. So it sounds like what you're trying to do is also address long-term stability by giving people skills and education and ability to get out of the system and not have to need assistance. So tell me about those other programs.
Yeah, so I think one big piece that we've really gotten strong at as an organization is centers on education. We know that while housing is the immediate need and the issue confronting the family, what an opportunity we have with the kids to help bolster their education, get them in the best position that they can be in, whether it be to attend college or some trade school. So a lot of work we do from kindergarten, actually from birth, to 18 centers on helping our kids access the best educational opportunities that they can while they're with us. Also paying attention to mental health. A lot of our families have lived through trauma, and we have a really cool program that is sort of a no barrier program. So families can cancel. Families, who are reluctant to come in, we kind of just keep the door open for them and sort of bring them in. And work slowly but surely with the families to build their trust. And we've had a ton of success with that. It's kind of a awakening, when you realize, what, sort of so many folks have been through in our community. And it's all of us, right? Everyone goes through stuff. But yeah, so that's a big piece. Really just looking at a family holistically. Also have a job coach where, we've encouraged families who are employed to, ask for an increase or to, sharpen their skill set and look in a different field, and had a ton of success with that. But I'm glad you asked earlier, but I think a big misunderstanding is the employment piece. And the vast majority of who we serve are working.
That's great. I hope that dispels any myths for any listeners that we have that these are people who are just looking for a handout. These are people who are working, some of them full-time, sometimes multiple jobs, who are just doing the best they can, but it just doesn't pay enough to get enough to pay the pretty high rents here in Palm Beach County. So thanks, Matt, for that insight. So, I run a law firm. I help you all out, and I'm happy to do so. So how have you seen private businesses like mine and other corporations help what you do both at Adopt a Family and at the nonprofit chamber?
So, I mean, we've seen it both, and really grateful for all the support that we get. But one thing I would say is definitely has been an increase in private corporations getting involved in their community. We've had some really amazing supporters at the nonprofit chamber, sponsoring our events, and doing what they can do to support our work. And I do think we're fortunate in Palm Beach County. There is sort of this community or neighborhood feel. I think a lot of the corporations do pay attention to what's going on and are interested in giving the chamber a big hand.
And how much does it cost as a charity to join the nonprofit chamber?
It's the best deal you can get. It's based on your agency's budget, but I mean it could be as low as free because we actually have some intro scholarship opportunities for a couple of agencies, but it is not a significant number. We're in the hundreds here, a couple $100. So yeah.
So as I said, I have two charities. I think when my external defibrillator charity joined, it was like $150, which is really pretty cheap. Yeah. I know charities always have to pinch every penny, etc. But I was surprised and pleased to know that it wasn't anywhere near as expensive as the actual Chamber of Commerce, which is for profit organizations, which is a lot of money. But $150, I was like, oh boy, that's easy to join. And then the value I get from learning about the nonprofit sector. It's I would say one of the best deals around for charities to get those resources. Would you agree?
I totally agree. It's the best deal.
So I've started a couple charities. You've run a charity for 23 years, and you know hundreds and hundreds of charities. I know that there are some listeners out there that are like, I'd love to actually start a charity. And when I started my charity about 10 years ago, I didn't know anything. So if you're actually thinking you might have the resource or the ability or the desire to actually start a charity, what resources would you use, Matt?
I think, the first thing I would do was I would do some homework. I would sort of do a scan of all the folks in Palm Beach County doing similar work, and first see if there's an opportunity for you to get on board with another agency to help support the work they're doing. If it's something really unique, like what you're doing with AEDs or something like that, I think there are some great resources. The Florida Nonprofit Alliance is an incredible resource. There's great stuff on the web. Also, our Legal Aid Society of Palm Beach County, Bob Burris, his team, that's a great organization that I know has helped some teams, obtain their 501c3 and kind of walk through those steps. But I do think the important work of starting charity is actually the pre-contemplation, right? Like making sure that the need is there, making sure that someone else isn't already providing this, and and if those check, then there's definitely a lot of support in the community to get that.
I think you're right in thinking back when I started my charities. I just got involved with some charities first just to find out what the lay of the land was. And oftentimes there might be a charity that does what you would want to do. So you could get involved in that first and then see if you want to start one on your own like I did. So it's pretty exciting. So I think that's great advice. So how can supporters or listeners today support? Let's first talk about Adopt a Family. Do you have a website? How could we donate to Adopt a Family?
Yeah, so we have a website. It is www.aaf as in Adopt a Family, PBC as in Palm Beach County .org. We have a Get Involved section. We have a volunteer coordinator, incredibly talented individual on our team who we have many opportunities for you to get involved, whether it's to simply donate or whether it's to get more hands-on and help us with the various events that we have going on.
And is there an upcoming plan or initiative that as you leave the head and you turn it over that you're really excited that Adopt a Family is about to embark on or about to expand?
For the nonprofit chamber, as I leave that board position?
No, let's talk about both.
Okay. So, I think for Adopt a Family, that's the day job. That's the where I feel like in some ways have spent a big piece of my life, and we're always excited there. There's always some things that are happening. We're an organization with an incredible board of directors who our mission is really important to us, and we're always looking for better ways to help families. So that can sometimes mean housing development, new program development, or just strengthening what we already do. And so that stuff is all underway. From the Chamber, I am excited. Specifically, I think the strategic plan that we're finalizing is really strong. And I think it's going to help us kind of get on the way to what you mentioned earlier and no more of the under the radar and really start to have a stronger presence in our community so that everyone is aware of the work we do.
And if you could deliver one message about the housing insecurity to Palm Beach County, just to clarify and have them understand the severity of this problem and your efforts, what message would you like to deliver to the Palm Beach County?
I mean, I think one message I would like to deliver is to have empathy, and to I feel like we talk a lot about hope, and I often wonder how a mom or a family or whoever maintains a level of hope when they know they can't afford a place to live and they're working. And I feel like hope is a big driver in our lives, in our community, that things will get better, that things will improve. And when families come to us, sometimes you can see that there's no longer hope. And so it's an important piece.
It reminds me of a recent post by a very famous tech billionaire who said last week or 2 weeks ago on a social media platform, the weakness of our society is empathy. And I couldn't help but get angry when I read a billionaire, a very powerful person in America, saying the weakness of our society is empathy. It sounds like you believe the 100% opposite, don't you, Matt?
Yeah, I do. I do. I mean, I think it's, I don't know. I think it's important to, we're a community and we should be there for others. And I know for me personally, I was afforded second chances, third chances. I was able to make mistakes. And I think for a lot of folks that we serve, there is no safety net. I feel like, we as a community have an obligation to help get people back up.
Well, thank you. So I think I share Matt's opinion that hope and empathy are good things for people and for society. And let's continue that mission of hope and empathy, which is really what I think humanity really survives on. So with that deep thought, I'm Craig Goldenfarb. This has been the Gold Standard Radio Show. And I'm here with Matt Constantine, who is not only CEO of Adopt a Family, but also CEO of the nonprofit Chamber of Commerce for Palm Beach. And it's been wonderful talking to you, Matt.
Thank you, Craig, and thanks for all you do.
Absolutely. That's a wrap on another episode of the Gold Standard Radio Show. A huge thank you to our guests for sharing their incredible journey and for being a true beacon of excellence in our community. At GOLDLAW, we believe that when we lift others up, we all rise together. If you know someone in our community making a difference, someone who lives and breathes the gold standard, we want to hear about them. So please reach out, connect with us on social media, and let's continue celebrating the people who are shaping a brighter, stronger future for all of us in Palm Beach County. Until next time, I'm Craig Goldenfarb. So stay inspired, stay committed, and keep raising the gold standard.
Hello guys, this is TT, CEO of 40 Flavors Wings and More. If you love wings with big bursting flavor and even bigger vibe, then this is where you need to be. 47 incredible wing flavors, from classic buffalo and lemon pepper to exotic flavors you will not find anywhere else. Our sauces are made in-house. But it does not stop there. You have to try our crispy egg rolls, our tenders, our delicious fries with our 7 seasonings, and so much more. And please don't forget to quench your thirst with our famous handcrafted signature drinks. You will not be disappointed. When you step inside of 40 Flavors, Wings and More, you get more than just an amazing food. You get a whole vibe. We're all about great food, great music, and great people, of course. We do have R&B nights, old school throwbacks. It's just the perfect spot to chill, vibe, and eat good food and enjoy great people. So whether it's lunch, dinner, or late night cravings, we got you. So what are you waiting for? You guys pull up, bring your crew, bring your family, and taste the flavors that keeps everyone coming back. 40 Flavors Wings and More is where the food and the fire and the vibe is even hotter. Hope to see you all soon. And also, we are getting ready to start hosting brunch. You will not be disappointed. So come and see us. We're going to have your favorite chicken and waffles with signature flavors, fish and grits, shrimp and grits. It's going to be a blast. So I hope to see you all soon. You can find us at 6685 Lake Worth Road, right in the heart of Green Acres, or you can even call us at 561-432-9910, or you can follow us on our social media at 40 Flaves, or check out our full menu online at 40flavewings@gmail.com.